What's up, Slackers? Welcome to a very special SNS Reacts. We got hot takes. We're giving you hot takes on the announcement of the Nintendo Switch, formerly known as the NX. We're excited about it.
I am.
I'm really excited about it. So basically, we wanted to kind of just like give you the major beats, and then we're going to kind of go through like a frame by frame of the trailer itself. So we'll just let it play in the background real quick. So what we know about the Nintendo Switch, we know that it is coming out in March. We know that it is a hybrid handheld home and mobile or handheld console.
As you can see.
Right, as rumors have said, and as you can see in this video right here. We know it's going to have its own controller. We know that it has a built-in controller. We saw a ton of fucking games on it right out the gate. Like, right here we got Breath of the Wild. We got what looks like a new Mario game. We got a couple peeks at what look like maybe Wii U games, might be ports of Wii U games. We have confirmation that it uses cartridges, like it was long rumored.
Yeah.
A lot of
stuff.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It really is.
It's really crazy. It's just like a staggering amount of news, a staggering amount of ways to play here in what is a very short trailer.
3 minutes. And
3 minutes.
It felt like maybe 20 minutes long. Like,
And
the first time I saw this.
In a good way.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh my god. It's like, I can't take it in.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, I'm really excited about what we've seen here so far. I mean, like, cautiously optimistic is the word I most like to use to describe my excitement for anything like this. But I have to say, what we've seen here looks really cool. And if they can deliver on what they're trying to promise in this trailer, we have a really exciting piece of hardware on our hands here.
Yeah.
And I think a really good move for Nintendo.
We're definitely going to get into, like, all the little bits as we're going on. But to keep it short, like, I was very, like, unoptimistic about this. And now I'm on your side. I'm like, yeah, like, let's do it. Let's go for it. Like, you got me. I'm looking.
And I did want to say, unfortunately, Andy Brown couldn't be on the couch today. Right. We are going to talk about this, like, as a full topic on the podcast this week, but we wanted to get, first impressions out for you guys right away. And Andy wanted to say, quote, his hot takes are that it looks good. So,
which is the Hype Slayer saying it looks good?
Yeah, when you hear Andy the Hype Slayer Brown, who complained about the screenshots for Red Dead Redemption, says that it looks good, you got something exciting on your hands here.
But what did he say? Too many people?
He was like, I don't know, man. It looks like it might have a real big focus on multiplayer.
Right. Yeah. It's like, just be happy that it's here.
Right? Like, he's the only one who could find a way to be upset about that.
Right.
So, I think that covers all the major stuff. So, the stuff that we don't know yet, before we get into the nitty-gritty, and we're going to give you, like, a play-by-play of what we saw here.
Few crucial things.
Yeah, few really crucial things we don't know yet are we don't have a price, we don't have any news about battery life, or specs.
Which, like, the battery life, they're showing, as you can see, like, hey,
that's the biggest thing
for me. Take it out,
me.
go around, do everything with it,
Yeah.
go on the airplane, right, but if it lasts 5 hours, like, how long are you going to do that?
Right.
So,
yeah, I
think
think
that's really important, right?
Battery life is the most pivotal thing for me, because I think price range is important, but, like,
it's,
even if this thing is $500,
it's going to be
exciting.
Reasonable enough. They're not going to, like, gouge you out for it.
No, and I think I'm guessing $300 is the rumor we've heard. I think that's a safe bet.
The rumors have been pretty accurate.
But I do think, I'm wondering, like, if they're saying that that's the case, I personally think $300 probably sounds like right. But if it's even up to like $400 or $500, I'm still excited about it.
It's reasonable.
It's reasonable. I do think this is a exciting piece of tech, and if it works the way that it's promised.
It's like having that Wii U gamepad, but way better.
It's like the promise of what like the Wii U probably should have been.
Yeah.
And like what we always hoped the Vita would be.
Yeah. I think I said it earlier. The Wii U and the Vita had a baby, and it's this thing.
It looks
holy crap.
It looks so much like a Vita too. It's so cool. I really like it's got like that matte kind of finish too, because that was kind of one of my big problems with the Wii U gamepad was like you'd kind of get like fingerprints all over it. You're constantly cleaning it, and like it just looks like a kid's toy. And this doesn't look like a kid's toy.
Like the 3DS XL has that nice
matte finish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like they're taking that route. They know.
So those are kind of like the big things. The other thing we'll touch base. There's a couple more things we'll touch base on them when we get through the trailer, though. So let's
just go through it.
Yeah, let's just get through this here.
Go through the crucial points.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: if you're living in a house and you've got a dog, you're probably gonna want to.
You're gonna want to play some Zelda, right? And at some point, your dog's gonna have to go to the bathroom, and you're like, "Shit, man, what am I gonna do? I'm trying to play video games."
It's like, dude, it's dark out. The moon's out. I'm playing games. Dog wants to go outside.
He's gotta go to the park.
This is insane.
So what are we doing? We bring the gamepad with us.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the first thing, right? So here we see the entire unit. And it's really interesting. Thompson noticed right over here we have some USB ports. It's either probably for like external memory, but I'm thinking it might be to plug in like the GameCube adapter, so maybe you can play Smash and use your GameCube controllers like we had with the Wii U. That seems possible to me. It's interesting to me that
I hold out for the possibility of an external hard drive going into those things.
I think that's likely.
I hope.
I do think it's interesting to look at like the make of this thing though, and it looks like a hybrid of the Wii and the 3DS. You have, like the power bar, the light bar from the 3DS, and like overall look of it kind of looks like a Wii. Yeah. That like has a snap in.
Yeah. That's that like sort of. I know what you mean. Like, I can't explain it very well, but like that base that it had.
Right. But what I will say is like it looks sleek. It looks
nice.
It looks modern.
It just looks nice. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like it should look like a console coming out for...
It doesn't look like a Nintendo product, but in a good way.
It doesn't look too absurd.
Too
absurd?
Okay, so here's the controller, right? Oh, whoops.
Oh,
sorry.
What happened there?
I got a little too ahead of myself there. Okay,
what's
going on? So here we have the controller. So what's interesting about the controller is you're going to see that there's a few different configurations of it. So this device he has in the middle here, it has a specific name. I don't actually remember the name of the controllers off the top of my head. We were supposed to look that up. But
there's like 4 ways to use it.
Yeah, so this specific thing is like you'll see in a minute. Like this thing is it's like kind of one of those. Like, you remember you could buy those things that were like an adaptation for your 3DS that you would snap it in and you could hold it like a controller?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like that, where you slide these on and then you kind of have your standard like NX built-in controller. Right? Now, when you want to take that off and make it a handheld, you do what he's doing right here. You slide these off and you slide them right on the tablet.
Right, and the tablet's in the console.
Yeah,
so
and it looks like it's probably got some belts.
Yeah, you pull that out and it's like, there you go. Looks like the same concept as the Wii U, but again, we were saying much better.
Sleek.
Like, look at the screen size on it. And,
yeah.
And are you going to back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got really nice screen size, nice resolution.
You can see that you have the plus and minus on each side.
You got plus and minus. We've got some C buttons.
Under his right hand is the other thumbstick.
Yeah, there's two thumbsticks.
Which we were questioning, but it's there.
And 4 face buttons.
4 face buttons.
Looks like it's got triggers up here.
Right.
So I'm thinking it looks like it has bumpers and triggers.
Probably. I don't know if we see a backside shot of it too well.
No, but I would assume it has triggers, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Otherwise, it wouldn't translate as well as it seems like it's supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, the controller itself has them, so...
Yeah, so here's another really interesting thing. We see the guy go into the... Alright, so...
Game cartridge,
right?
there. What is that?
Long rumored thing about the NX was that it was going to return to a cartridge-based format. Here we go, we got a cartridge.
Like, for me, hold on, get the towel, because I gotta wipe the sweat away from my fucking face.
My word!
Jesus Christ. Now, like, this is just, again, me, like, holding out for, like, the absolute craziest possibilities with this thing. But, like, again, cautiously optimistic here. If they're really trying to blend the mobile market, like, or mobile, handheld market, I don't want to confuse that again.
Right.
The handheld, like, what we got back there with the Wii U and all that, maybe it's going to use, like, 3DS games. Possibly.
I think it's possible. I could see it if the slot fits the same way, right?
It looks like it's about the same size.
It does look like it's about the same size.
And look, actually, here's the backside of it. We can see the trigger involved.
Yeah, there are triggers here. We can see...
A kickstand.
A kickstand, which is really cool. You'll see that in action in a minute. Looks like down here there might be something adaptable, like maybe some kind of... Maybe that's where it clicks in on the console, right here. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, there's like... We're just taking guesses. No one's like told us this. Like,
right.
There's no specs for this crap right now, so we're just looking at it.
We're just kind of like basing it off what we're seeing here.
I see this.
But so... To take it back to what you were saying, I think that's possible in the same way that the 3DS had the same slides like for DS cartridges.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, it's possible.
Like, can you imagine? You're like, hey, I want to play like I don't know whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Whatever game you like.
You know what's the big example for me is like, am I going to be able to play Sun and Moon on this day one?
That's actually what I was going for, but again, like
So we'll see. So anyway, we got the kickstand, right? So now you have this other way of play. Plugs in the headphones, pulls it off.
What's that?
And that's fucking Skyrim, baby!
Hold on.
Skyrim!
This picture alone needs a couple seconds of talk. Because first of all, you have something that's like essentially a tablet now.
Yeah.
Being played with by the two things you just took off. You don't have a TV. What? You don't have a TV? You got that.
Yep.
And what are you playing? On the airplane?
Motherfucking Skyrim.
Holy shit. Nintendo's got Skyrim.
So, now you see this guy, he's using these things, not connected to that thing we saw earlier, which you slide them on and you use it like a controller. You just use them two individuals like almost like Wiimotes.
Like you were saying, you want to sit back like this and play with behind your hand. You can do it.
So he's just got to kind of both in each hand. He's got to rest it on his legs.
So you got the gamepad with the TV.
Now he's in the cab on the way home. He's playing it in the fucking taxi.
Sliding it into the tablet thing.
Now you're back home. Now you see the fucking controller.
And you've got the tablet thing sliding off. And to top it all off, if you don't like any of that, you got a controller.
So we got this thing that's called the Switch Pro Controller. It looks a lot like the Wii U Pro Controller, but with kind of like more like an Xbox 360 configuration, which I'm very happy with. I hated the joystick placement on the Pro Controller. Now it's kind of what killed me from ever buying or using one, was that I just didn't like it. Very traditional layout. We got the D-pad, we got the face buttons, we got two joysticks, we've got what looks like plus and minus buttons right here.
It's a plus and minus.
You can kind of see them for like the start and select. Not sure what these two are.
They're kind of on the other thing too. There's like a square thing on the left side that looks like a sensor.
Who knows?
Like, I don't really know what that is. And then there's like the circle version of the square.
And something that Thompson noticed too is like the faceplate on this is like kind of see-through. It seems like a little bit reminiscent of like the N64 controller, which is nice.
Semi-transparent. When you used to have like that, you're like, oh look, the tech behind it. It was just a cool little thing to look at.
It's a nice little thing. You don't see that too much anymore. Very retro.
Yeah.
Alright, so now he's here. He's picking up Skyrim again.
Holy crap. And you need a controller? You got a controller. Jesus. Look at that.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like, it's not like that I have a problem with that any other thing.
So this is cool too.
That is awesome.
I don't know if this is the thing that they're going to sell or if this is just the thing that like they're showing you could potentially do, but they show these bros sliding this into the back of like a little tablet holder.
Right. And watch this. Wait. It's coming. Here.
It's the 90s, right?
Oh, look at that.
And
what
so
is
now
that? The side thing off the thing that you have, which can be held that way, this way, the other way.
Yep.
Hey, you take it one side, have two people use it,
and you pull out two little slidey things and turn it into mini controllers.
God. So that little side thing and the tablet included is 4 controllers in itself.
Yeah, you have 3 ways to play.
It's 3, off the bat. Yeah, and then you have the side. It's like, this is unreal.
And then you have the addition of that other controller if that's something that you decide you want, which personally I think I'm probably going to go for too.
I mean, honestly, it's not like I was just saying before. It's not like I don't like those things or anything. It's like I just would probably rather have a controller.
That's kind of my biggest concern, honestly. Is like those are very small, and if they're one of the ways you can play, like if me and all my buddies have one of those Pro controllers and we can all use one and play, I don't care then.
So you can plug it into the tablet, have like 2 controllers plugged into that, like we'll probably just
it is really great that they give you the option at the gate though, that like you have this thing and built in with it comes with 2 controllers.
Also,
that's really cool.
Let's just not gloss over the fact that we are having a split screen game and they're not requiring you to have 2 systems.
Right, that's huge.
That alone, they're like, hey, you want to play with your friend? Do you remember that?
Yeah, right? Like split screen? Oh my god.
Whoa.
So that's really cool. So now here's another thing I wanted to point out, right? So they're showing we're playing Mario Kart 8. Or what looks like Mario Kart 8.
Probably.
Now this is what I was talking about with the Wii U stuff.
This is all you.
One of my big last questions here is, what's the deal with Wii U backwards compatibility? Because we have 2 pieces of software in this demo that appear to be Wii U ports, but they have extra content, right? So this, like I said, looks like it could be Mario Kart 8. Visually looks like Mario Kart 8. But we see here we have King Boo, who is not a playable character in Mario Kart 8, and we have the ability to use 2 items, which is something you also can't do in Mario Kart 8. So my question here is this Mario Kart 9? Is this a port of Mario Kart 8 to NX that has new content? And if so, do I have to buy a new version if I own it on Wii U? These are a lot of questions.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know. Could be aliens.
And I want to say these are the Wii U games with new content. That's my guess.
It looks so close to it that I would doubt that they, from the ground up, do it.
That's my thought.
But
we
don't know.
So my bigger question is, so if this is cartridges, doesn't look like it can use discs. If it can use discs, maybe like the home unit has a disc thing, but these dudes are playing it on the go.
Yeah.
So that
thing has a cartridge.
How does it work? So it either means this has a cartridge, or you put in the Wii U disc and you download it for free, maybe?
That's a really good question, because if you put something, if the home console did have the disc, you put it in, slide those controllers and take it to go, do you need to have the cartridge in the tablet for it to keep going, or is it just no?
Right.
We don't know.
So that's,
I would think it would have to, but
that's the thing, is like this unit doesn't appear to have a disc system on it.
Right.
So my question is, how do I get that software if I already own it? Or in Nintendo fashion, are they going to try to make me pay for games I already paid for again? Which
they might.
I wouldn't necessarily blame them for, but I would be very mad as a consumer because, like, not gonna lie, like, the Wii U is a flop. I paid for it. I'm not upset about it.
It's there.
But, like, I do think that as someone who supported their failed console, I do, like, feel some sense of kind of, like, entitlement there.
They've been really good to those kinds of scenarios, too. Like, with the
the 3DS early adopter
yeah, and they're
thing.
like, hey, you get like what, 10 games,
and like you get games that only you can get,
right?
kind
and
of
like,
stuff.
So you may or may not get some kind of leeway for that.
I hope so.
You know,
I hope that
they're good to their fans.
I agree. I hope that if this is just Mario Kart 8 with new content, if they do give us Smash Bros on NX with new content, I hope I can just redeem my license, get the game for free, and then maybe just pay for the new content. Yeah, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, maybe they're like, oh, it's only $5 more, $10 more for all this junk
to upgrade.
Fine,
I'd be totally fine with that.
Go for it, dude.
So that being said,
let's continue.
Yeah,
because you really got to do real racing to experience Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Also,
same deal
you feel like shooting hoops with your friends at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style.
Time to take a break.
What's that? You want to do something that's really crazy? Remember we just talked about having co-op or like split screen? This is 4 players!
So here, this is important for a couple reasons.
Yes.
One, first of all, another really awesome third-party nod, NBA 2K16 here on Nintendo
Which looks
Switch.
Great also.
Does look really good.
Looks amazing.
Like, looks very well, well rendered, and it looks like it's playing fine. So that's really good. And like you said, we have 4-player co-op with only 2 NXs.
Right.
Or not NXs, I have to get used to that. Switches.
I've got to get used to
I did the same thing with the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
I was still calling it PS Plus in the reaction video that we did.
That's
and
fine.
Spaz had to keep correcting me.
Wow. You know you're fucking up when Spaz is correcting you.
Yeah.
But
so that's really interesting, and then we see that we're getting some good third-party support here. So, and again, we see everybody using these as like the mini controller kind of deal. So that's interesting.
I just noticed on the top though, there's only one like little hole where he plugged that that thing in from before when he had the headphones. So I don't know if those controller ports are on the top. I mean, they're definitely on the top.
I'm thinking it's not ports, that it's like you sync them and then a light goes on.
Like,
I don't think they're ports. I think they're lights.
Yeah.
I think we just can't see them that well.
All right.
Alright, so here again. So here, new Mario.
Yeah.
Definitely a new Mario.
That's not even like, I don't know what to go with.
I went and took some time. A couple people were saying that they thought it kind of looked like Mario 64. Some people thought it might be Galaxy. Definitely not either of those games.
That doesn't look like 64.
Kind of looks like Mario 3D World. Still no. I went and tried to look. I couldn't find this image cross-referenced anywhere else. Definitely a new Mario game. So, and they've said for a long time that a Mario game is going to be a launch title. Yeah. So it looks like we got this coming out in March.
You like those sweet amiibos on your
hella
desk?
Exciting. Yeah. Also, I really like how this is something we touched on off camera.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to bring up.
Let's go into this. Yeah.
So, couple things here. I really like that looking at this video. All of the people that they've shown as owners of the NX, as people playing the NX,
Switch
are Switch. Thank you. Are people like me? You know, people like us. They're young, like 20-something.
You don't see anyone under 20.
There's no kids.
In this whole...
No kids, no families, no grandparents, no mom and dad.
Besides the dog, there's no one who's like not part of like the house.
And like not even like kids. Like not even what everybody always talks about as being Nintendo's prime demographic. And that I think is the most interesting thing about the way this is being marketed is like this is being marketed to gamers and like adult gamers. Like this is like, hey,
people who play games.
You're like a tech savvy 20-something hipster who loves Nintendo, right? This is for you. This is the thing for you. You don't want to play shitty mobile games, but you want some games on the train, on the plane, whatever. Switch.
Yeah.
And like I think it's nailing that. Like, look at this fucking like bohemian hipster vibes. You got this like pretty young hipster lady, couple handsome young hipster boys.
People playing b-ball, shooting hoops with their friends.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's a real thing.
Bunch of dudes looking like they're playing in some broke ass punk band, going to fucking drive go karts. It's like this is like us. This is like me and my boys.
Yeah,
having a roof party. You bring your fucking NX, baby.
I know. Switch.
The Switch.
You bring a Switch, baby.
Switch, baby. I'm sorry, I can't.
It's fine.
X gonna give it to you. I still like.
Oh
I love the X, bro.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, look at this. And it's like, I really like they're showing, it's like, just, you know, it's all these different, now we have, you know, this is a fucking esports team playing a game of Splatoon. Here's their competition. They're practicing, you know, and they're all playing on the same machine.
If you can. Just like a couple seconds for that second team. Just for that second team.
You just proved the thing we were talking about.
Yes,
You're right. I didn't notice this.
I just saw it.
Everybody's using a controller.
Yes.
So you can use the controller with just the machine.
Everyone's using the controller.
And on the kickstand,
also, he doesn't have the side controller.
He's got his stuff left at home.
So it's like, you don't even have to take it. You could just take the thing and put a controller in. There you go.
That's so
perfect. Cool. So yeah, I'm really glad we just caught that.
Yeah, it's like the 6th or 7th time I've watched this. I didn't catch that until right now.
The 3rd for me. And
good job.
Thank God.
Yeah, man.
Answer one question, please.
So I think like this showing Nintendo being like, hey, we believe in esports. Esports are a part of our brand. This is a part of Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is like very forward. All right, okay. So, sorry. This is very forward-thinking Nintendo, and I'm very excited by that. This is like the most aggressive we've seen them in a long time, and they need to be that. And
they really do. They do.
So, Now, we see another, what seems to be Wii U game, but very key little thing I didn't notice until some of my homeboys on the internet pointed it out. We got new hairstyles. Hairstyles you don't see in Splatoon. So, again, similar to Mario Kart 8.
Is it back to the additional content?
Is this Splatoon 2? Is this DLC for Splatoon? Is this an NX port? Who knows? But I want to know.
We all do.
And here we see it with the Nintendo Switch Pro again. We got the teams going. Also, real quick, on this pink team, I'm like real hype on this like fucking like Pete Imbesi like Skrillex come
on the
over.
left one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's like
the left guy?
I had to rewind this.
Check out the left guy. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, baby, it looks like me!
That's pretty cool.
Just with a ponytail.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's gonna be good, man.
You can work on it.
I'm excited. And like, that's one where no matter what, if it's Splatoon 2, if it is, either way, I'm just real happy that they're like, Splatoon is like...
Yeah, it's huge for them. I don't know like too much about like the status of it now. I just know that like for a long time...
It was a big game.
Everyone talked about Splatoon.
And like, it's the first
so
new IP from Nintendo in a minute, like their first like EAD new game since Pikmin, so
yeah.
Like,
that's probably why it was so popular.
That's the thing I also want to talk about really quick. The most exciting thing to me about the Nintendo Switch, right, is like a couple of years ago now, actually, almost, I think, Nintendo made the announcement that they were combining the in-house development, like all the development teams are being merged of handheld and home console, so they could share resources and whatever and port games more easily. This was why. And what this is like showing me is like they only have one SKU, they only have one console, and it's both. And that means that we're never gonna have a Nintendo software drought. There's gonna be new Nintendo games on this thing probably like every other month. And like we're gonna get a good mix of like those fun handheld titles of the
it's just exciting
home experiences.
To think,
It's an exciting prospect. And
definitely.
And if the specs are up to snuff and we don't just get one generation of bad Wii U style ports like we did with Wii U, and we actually get legit third-party support, like you get all the big third-party games and you can take them on the go, that gives me as gamers real incentive to buy the game on Switch instead of PS4 or PC.
Right.
Because it's like,
you can actually take it
I can play it on home HD, or when we need to go on the road or something, I gotta go to work, I gotta whatever.
Again, like I was talking about before, but like, most of the reason why I like my 3DS so much, and like I think
with me
when we had the handheld,
all the time.
The handheld podcast we had, where it's like I literally said that's my favorite thing, mostly because it's like I can take it wherever I want, and this is essentially doing that. Yeah. But like, can you imagine having like your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox One like that, and just like let's go take the PlayStation to the car ride, I don't know, like to the train or the plane or like wherever they showed you. That's what we're looking at, and that's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
That is. Again, I think you said it best before. God. So try to word it that way again if you can.
Sure.
But you said it's not changing the way that you.
Oh, okay.
Play them.
So, all right. So this is what we were talking about. We were talking about what I really like about the look of the Switch. Right? Is that like this to me is like it's still a Nintendo gimmick. Right?
It's got a gimmick to it, you know.
But
not absurdly.
Qualifier for that. A gimmick is only a gimmick until it's not. Right? And like the joystick could have been a gimmick. 3D gaming could have been a gimmick.
Rumble packs.
Those are all things that could have easily just been gimmicks. But because they were eloquent solutions to enhance the way that you relate to games, or the way that you play games,
they made it better.
They stuck around.
Yeah. Someone was like, hey, this needs to be more.
Now,
and it's good.
Motion controls were a gimmick. They were a well-executed gimmick on Nintendo's part, but one that they were too eager to double down on, and one that I think alienated their core market, and that ended up becoming problematic for them on a business sense, or optically more than anything, right? So, that's true.
It's also hard to get into a thing when you're like, motion controls, I'm not used to that. I want a control, you know? Like, it's a barrier.
Where it did work well, though, it did a good job of being like, okay, this is new, I don't understand, I don't necessarily, like, this is a thing I've never done before, but I get it.
Yeah.
And I see that with
That's what this is doing, like...
The Wii U suffered where people didn't know if the Wii U was a new console. They thought it was like. I remember you asked me. You were like, "So is the Wii U like? Is that just an addition?"
Yeah,
to
like
the Wii?
I had no clue.
Like you were unaware when it like first was announced.
Yeah, you had it for like 2 months, and I was like, "Oh, you have that? I didn't even know it was out."
Yeah, and so that's like we don't see that problem here. But what I wanted to like, the thing I said to Thompson that I want to like, I'm long-windedly trying to work my way up to, is that. Both the Wii and the Wii U's gimmicks were focused on changing the way you play games. Right? And instead, the Switch is trying to change your relationship to software. Or change your relationship to a piece of hardware. That's fucking genius. Instead of making it about, okay, you know, how is this tablet or motion controls gonna open up new ways to play,
advance the way you play games in a new way. It's like,
and it's not trying to do that.
Really a new way. The only thing they're telling you is you can just take it outside the house, like legitimately take it wherever you want to.
Basically, it's trying to say that
that's insane.
Your relationship to this machine doesn't end when you leave your home.
Which is crazy.
And that's great. The idea of being like, you can take your Nintendo anywhere.
It's crazy.
Is like, that's special.
It
and
is.
Like, I think that's fucking awesome.
It's part of the reason people have such a rabid fan base for like the 3DS or the Vita, because they're just like, yeah, I have it right here. And like they're like, oh, we're talking about the Vita. Oh, just carry it on me at all times because I always have it with me. Like
and
your
this
phone,
takes it to the next level.
Or your keys or your wallet. And it's like, you're going to be counting in a couple years, like, if it catches on, like, the Switch will just be a common thing that people walking around with.
Bring with you, yeah. And that's the thing, man, is like, if this works as well as, like, optically as they're trying to make it sound, then, like, it's going to deliver on the promise of what the Vita originally sold us on.
Right.
Like,
that cross-platform
home gaming on the go.
Yeah.
And that's something.
Was ambiguously not the same way as I thought. I thought you could, like, kind of like what this did. I thought you could pretty much, pick this game, put it on the Vita, and let's go. And it's like, well, you need the internet connection, or you need to have, like, certain games that can do it, or whatever. This just says, screw it, take it, you're gone.
Yeah.
So, this is going to eliminate, like, pretty much every barrier you had to get to that point.
Yep.
And, the Vita, like, is really awesome, but, like, it didn't really...
It didn't set the world on fire.
Yeah.
And it's because like, Sony mismanaged it, and if Nintendo doesn't do that...
So again, if the Wii U and the Vita had a baby and it's this Switch, that's what it looks like, and we're looking at like two systems that looked like they were going to set the world on fire but didn't for whatever reason. The best of both worlds, the best of another world that they're adding with like so many damn new features.
Knock on wood.
I'm very, very, very optimistic about this now, so...
Coming March 2017.
Yeah. I had like zero hype until I saw this. You were saying about third-party support with software drafts, too.
Yeah.
There's a list somewhere...
Let's show that real quick.
...that we got of every, like, developer that's already signed on to this.
Okay, so, shout-outs to Polygon for letting us use this article.
Yeah.
Right here, we were going to scroll through the list of all of the fucking companies.
Capcom, dude, like...
We've got big names. We've got, like, Ubisoft. We've got Telltale. We've got THQ Nordic, Square Enix, Sega, Platinum Games.
Havok, every game
Level
that has
5,
physics uses Havok.
Konami, fucking...
EA.
Frostbite.
Jesus Christ.
The Frostbite
engine.
You
may not like them, but they're huge.
EA, Bethesda, Capcom, Bandai Namco, Atlas.
505,
Activision. All of the big players here. The only a few big names are missing from this, like names like Rockstar, things like that. But for the most part, it looks like this thing's going to get support, and I don't know, man. It's exciting. It's certainly exciting. Okay, so the just last couple of thoughts I wanted to get through is like essentially. There's a lot more we need to know, like we touched on in the beginning, but from what we've seen here, obviously we're both very excited. I believe in this product from what I've seen so far. There's still a lot we need to know. I don't think we're going to hear about it for the rest of the year. I think if Nintendo's smart, they're going to wait until after the holiday season. We'll hear about it in January.
They have like 5 months from right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do a late March, they have like 5 months from right now, and I guarantee you they'll trickle in like Pokemon style, maybe the battery's this thing, or this is the specs for this one.
Hopefully we get a Nintendo Direct about it pretty soon. The one thing I will say, I don't think they should come out and answer too many questions yet, but I think there's a few things they should come out and nail down really quickly. Specifically the specs,
and
that's
big.
And the price. I think, and battery life. Those three things we talked about. I think if they came out with next 2-3 months, and gave us a Nintendo Direct that only gave us that information just to answer those questions, quell the hype, make sure that people don't get ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
Because I think
like we might be.
Yeah, we might be speculating too much. Who knows? And that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Is they need to get ahead of this message, because as much as I do think it's important for them to not let it get drowned out and all the other stuff that's coming out in the next couple months, I also think it's really important for them to control the message very tightly.
Right.
Because if speculation gets ahead of reality, they're fucked.
Yeah.
And they're going to be with a bunch of unneeded, unnecessary backlash that they don't need for this thing. This thing needs to come out. It needs to turn heads. It needs to keep people like me who have stuck by them happy and win back people
like me,
like you, who are in the middle of the road.
I haven't had a Nintendo since the GameCube.
But you're loyal to the handheld.
I was like, I'm loyal, but it's like I haven't. The console idea has been lost to me.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like they need guys like you who are in the middle, and then guys who are like lost.
Right.
Like Ozzy, who didn't buy a handheld or anything from Nintendo until the 3DS for like years.
Yeah.
So if you can come out and nail all those things and keep ahead of the rumor mill,
that'd be hard.
I'm really excited.
That will be hard for them, but I believe in them. They've always treated their customers great, and they've done some seriously magical things with the consoles in general. So.
And I'm always the first to believe in Nintendo. I will never count Nintendo out.
I'll never count them out. I get very cautious lately. That's about it.
They make mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. But you know what, man? It's like they're also good at pivoting. Like
they are.
People forget how close the 3DS was to a failure.
No,
in the early days.
Yeah,
and they turned that ship around real quick. So
side note, when they had the original Nintendo, like there was a faulty problem with so many thousands and thousands of the systems, and they just straight up said like, recall, we'll give you a brand new one, and like they took a dive on the money for that. But it won the fans.
Maintains the name.
And, like, there's a reason why people who have, like, started from that first system to now, who are like you, basically saying, like, this is going to be good because Nintendo knows how to pivot and make things work.
I believe in this. I'll say it right here because months from now I might be proved wrong, but I believe in Nintendo. I want to believe in Nintendo more than anything. And, like...
I wanted to.
When this trailer was coming out, I was really afraid. I was really skeptical. Like, as much as you can go check out our podcast about handhelds or about the NX,
right,
where I talk about how I believe in the future of the idea of the NX, I have also been very vocal for years now that I don't think Nintendo should make hardware anymore and that they should get out of it and just make software. This is their last chance.
This is the only niche thing to create the hardware that they need to keep going.
But this trailer made me see... I might be wrong. And maybe they do still have things to show the...
You might not be... No, I don't think you're wrong. I think this is the only thing that you didn't anticipate. Like, having a system that blends all these barriers just flat out ignores what you were saying before.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? Like, you're not wrong. It's just, this doesn't fit into what you were saying.
But it might, though. That's the thing is, right, this might prove me wrong in that I keep saying I don't think they should make hardware anymore. Right, but it's like, if this comes out and it works, it proves that they still have ideas.
They have an idea, too, yeah.
And they made some wrong turns. But you know what? The Wii was such a success, I can't necessarily blame them for trying to emulate that success. Now that they're seeming to double down on core gamers and try to really give us a machine that will serve our needs, and then also probably give something to those people.
Right, yeah.
God bless you, Nintendo. That's all I've got.
Yeah, my only final note is, again, I'm incredibly cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't felt any sort of optimism toward this system. I think I talked maybe some shit about it during the podcast we had.
You were cautiously optimistic.
I'm just
I don't think you said anything shitty.
Like, it's gonna be whatever. I'm not into the idea of, like, having a blend of
You were a doubter.
But, wow.
Does this make you a believer?
Give me that battery life being at least above, like, 8 hours, and we'll talk.
Whoops.
So, yeah.
Alright, guys. So that wraps it up for this, whatever you want to call it, SNS Reacts.
It's a React,
takes,
why not?
It's something.
We did it, we're not going to get sued.
Yeah, we're going to make some, I don't know. I'd like this to be like a more regular thing that we do where we like respond to trailers and stuff and like have it be a little different from the podcast. So,
big stuff like this.
Let us know what you think in the comments below if you enjoyed this video or hit us up on Twitter if you want to talk to us about the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So if you guys like the video, please like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come back on Monday for an episode of the Slackcast where we will be talking about this and all the other crazy fucking news that came out this week. New Red Dead trailer, fucking new Legend of Zelda stuff.
Where's the towel? I got
all
wipe
kinds
the
of stuff.
sweat from my fucking brow.
Hot Takes will be here. We will see you